You've got a business to run, big and heavy products to ship, and customers who need them now. When you've got the right driver and the right equipment, you can bet on a spectacular result. Bennett understands complex logistics and puts the best team, the most time, and the latest technology into every customer relationship. So you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the race. Let us handle the rest.
Together, we can move anything.
Welcome to Lime Rock Park and the first ever SpeedTour All-Star Race. I have to say, in all my career, there's not many times where I'm just absolutely honored to be part of such a big event. We truly have some of the great legends of American motorsport, as well as a few Canadians and the odd Australian. But over this weekend, you're going to see guys that have had 8,000 starts in NASCAR alone, plus Le Mans winners, Daytona winners, Trans Am winners, and it all culminates in a combination of these great legends up against some of our current drivers. As you can see, I've got Al Unser Jr. alongside me, and Al, this is the perfect race weekend to bring the fans out, and they've come and voted with their feet. Oh, absolutely.
This is unbelievable. I get goosebumps with a lot of these drivers.
Never ran a lap at Lime Rock before, so it was really a cool experience. Look at all these people. How can you not have fun?
Bucket list guy, Newman right here, obviously, wearing the Newman shirt. So just a cool event. Good to see these guys out and driving again.
Who are you getting an autograph from?
Mark Martin. He was my man way back when. He quit, and now I don't have a new guy in NASCAR.
What do you got here?
A 1990 NASCAR jacket.
And who do you want to get it signed by?
Everyone.
Did you ever think sitting at home with Selena should be sat next to these two?
No, never. It's been a great pleasure to share the car with these guys, and it's been an honor to show them how to go fast in these things too. That's been the coolest part.
Trans Am has always put on a good show. You can walk the pits and meet the drivers. What's better than that?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. This is Ben Sissel here, usually down in the pits for this fan walk. You can see an amazing fan walk down there at Lime Rock Park for this SpeedTour All-Star Race. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties, but that's to be expected. Beautiful day here. I would say we are having the largest fan walk that we have had with a SpeedTour event. As you're seeing the images come through. So thank you so much for joining us. The SpeedTour All-Star Race. This is going to be unbelievable. I've been walking around the paddock for the last couple days, and it's like, oh, there's one of my childhood heroes. Oh, there's one of my childhood heroes. And that's what this is all about. It's like a reunion. We've got 19 All-Stars. People like Ron Fellows, Boris Said, Adam Andretti, Scott Speed, Andy Lally, Bobby Labonte, Mike Skinner, Al Unser Jr.'s here. Jeff Bodine is the Grand Marshal. But look at these images here of this fan walk. We've always kind of said that Lime Rock Park has some of the best motorsports fans, and they're proving it. And what's neat about coming to Lime Rock is they do follow our series. The TA2 Series, the Trans Am Series, SVRA, any of the SpeedTour Series. And they know a lot of our staff, a lot of our drivers. They're coming down here getting autographs, and that's what this is all about. This race should be a lot of fun. And let me explain something to you here. The rules. The All-Star starts the race. It's going to be a 25-minute race. They throw the checkered flag. The All-Stars come into pit lane in the order that they were in. If anybody gets lapped, they get their lap back. And then we're going to start back in order with the Trans Am Pro, doing another race about 25 to 30 minutes. And then at the end, we total up the points. So with the All-Stars, if you win the race, you get 19 points. Second place is 18 points, all the way down to 1 point. And then the Pro gets in, the Trans Am Pro gets in, and if they win, they get 19 points. And so it's a points kind of heat race like we do in late model cars. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see how the driver pairings shake out in a track that's very difficult to pass here, like Lime Rock Park. So I am going to throw right now to a wonderful qualifying piece here at Lime Rock Park. Take it away.
The first SpeedTour All-Star qualifying was held in perfect conditions around the iconic 1.5-mile Lime Rock Park. With only All-Star drivers at the wheel, for many it was their first time in anger in a TA2 car and at Lime Rock Park. Not so for Andy Lally, whose history here in IMSA is well known. The second fastest early on behind Scott Speed, who set the pace after 7 laps with a brilliant 52.657 for the rest of the field to chase in the half-hour session. With 11 minutes to go, TA2 regular Adam Andretti in the Nitro Motorsports 44 Mustang was up to third, with the 22-year-old Hailie Deegan in her first time out in a TA2 car up to fourth, who was eventually pipped in the closing stages by TA Championship leader Paul Menard for fourth overall. As the clock ticked down, there was no change at the top, so Scott Speed took the SLR M1 Racecars machine to the inaugural All-Star pole with a 52.657. Just 2/10 off in second was 5-time Daytona champion Andy Lally, as he took the number 70 Nitro Motorsports Mustang to second with a 52.845. And in third, another Nitro car, this time Adam Andretti in the 44 Mustang, putting the Andretti-AJ Hendrickson combination in the hunt for the win. Just 1.5 seconds between the top 10, setting up an impressive first-time All-Star grid.
Yes, and what a wonderful photograph. And I saw this morning that each and every one of our All-Stars and our Pro drivers was given that photograph, and I'm sure it'll be festooning the walls of many great racing drivers around America. Fantastic stuff. I'm Jonathan Green, and welcome to Lime Rock. What a special weekend this is. I'm very honored and privileged to be part of what is a dream come true in many ways for Tony Perella and his team. And this is the first ever SpeedTour All-Star Trans Am race. And it's a combination, as you've heard from Ben, of pro drivers from our regular setup in Trans Am, paired with some of the absolute legends of American motorsport. And between those folks down on the grid down there, you're about to see in action, they have 8,000 starts, and that's not an exaggeration. I can go through them, and we will go through them as we get through the day. But 8,000 NASCAR starts, that's in NASCAR, Xfinity, and, of course, truck racing, multiple champions, as well as the likes of people like Mark Martin and Ray Everingham. Was so delighted to be here as part of the weekend. And I'm going to be joined now, in a moment, by the man whose dream it was to put this all together. And Al Unser Jr., and you don't get any better legend than that. He's decided not to take on the rest of the world. He's going to come and join me in the booth, which he's done before in Trans Am. So he's kind of happy here, but I'm sure he's going to enjoy this, seeing some old mates. So they had a dinner last night. But I want to start with Tony Perella. Tony, you know, you started watching Trans Am as a 10-year-old back in Watkins Glen. This, I suppose, I mean, you should be at home with your feet up right now, but this is kind of a dream come true for you.
Oh, honestly, it is. We have messed with this recipe of combining legends of yesterday with up-and-coming drivers in my vintage series, SVRA. And we called that, at the time, we called it the Vintage Race of Champions. But we've grown Trans Am to the point where combining yesterday's legends with up-and-coming Trans Am drivers really gives you the best of all worlds. It gives us a safe opportunity for the former drivers to get in a car that they can come. It's been prepared right, and it gives you an opportunity for these young kids coming up through the ranks to race with somebody who's already done it on the larger stage. So obviously the fans seem to think it's a good idea because we sure had a great turnout. And then combining the IROC reunion this weekend, oh, my God, there's something here for everybody.
And talk a little bit about that because, Al, of course, you were a champion of IROC in your own time. So you've seen this kind of format before where you get great champions together. You won the championship. Is it good to see IROC back?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's been gone for way too long. And so to have Tony and Ray Everingham work together to bring these great, iconic cars up here, you know, that the series started in 1974 and you know, I was like 15, 16 at that time, and I dreamed about running the IROC because I saw my Uncle Bobby win in it, and I saw my dad win in it. And so my first year I was invited was 1986, and it was just a dream come true for me.
Interesting. You had dinner last night, and I'm sure lots of great stories, but was it what you hoped for?
I mean, for me, it was unbelievable that just to show the resume of those drivers and what they've accomplished in their careers. To your point, 8,000 starts at NASCAR level, 50-plus Indy 500s, 24-hour Daytona, 24 hours of Le Mans champions, every walk of race of Formula One racers, to have them all combined. And then, frankly, when you look at over 800 Trans Am starts, not exactly small either,
no,
to combine them. So I'm just delighted. The big thing here now, let's get us racing, let's get them safe.
And we're looking at the V-Rock here, which is obviously one of your babies as well. And I guess this is a forerunner. This is sort of following on from that as well.
Yeah, the V-Rock honestly was what started. I mean, Al won my first V-Rock.
We did.
With Peter Clute. So it, you know, that's what started the dream of this. But the truth of the matter is taking a production car and turning it into a race car is not as safe as building a purpose-built race car. It just as a promoter of a series, I feel more confident having them in a purpose-built race car. And the competition, you know, you look at the first 9 slots on our grid are within a second of each other.
But some of these guys haven't raced in 10 years.
See, and that's my point. When you have tires, gas, weight, displacement, ride height, all the same, it gets down to the drivers. And you could see, not too bad.
You know, I had a chat with Bobby Labonte he's in my hotel, and I said, how did you find the Trans Am car? He goes, I got 4 wheels off. And he goes, not every lap, but a couple of wheels. So, I mean, you can tell he was enjoying it.
He meant, excuse me, he meant airborne.
Yeah. Sorry,
there's a place here, not off of the track. He was on the track, and there's a place here that if you go fast enough, you can get that car completely off the ground, and obviously Bonnie was trying to do that.
Flip side of it, for both of you, and you raced with against your father, but what a great opportunity for some of our regular pros. Thomas Merrill, delighted to be here. Wlostowski can't find himself. He's so excited. And Brent Cruz, just a teenager, but he'll look back at this and go, wow, did I team up with that guy, Scott Speed?
I mean, you think of Tristan McKee, think of Ben Mayer.
Yeah.
These are our quote young guns that are going to the next level. I believe if they have aspirations to race at the Cup level, they have the talent. But now, for them to have a weekend to learn from somebody who's already done it, huge.
As you can see, looking down on the grid, we'll hear from Ben in a moment. But a full grid, are you happy with who's here and how you've got it together? Because we got, 19 entries. We should go over the format a little bit. But in putting this together, you decided 2:25 minutes the best bet to go.
Yeah, where we ended up going was we'll have a 2-pace lap. All the All-Stars will start the race. At the 25-minute mark, we'll throw a checker. If you come in first, there's 19 cars. If you come in first, you get 19 points.
Yeah. Okay.
You come in 19th, you get 1 point.
Right.
We'll have a driver change for all the drivers at once within about a 5-minute intermission. We'll take them all out, single file pace start, restart, and let the chips fall where they may. The Trans Am drivers get the same point per finishing position. If we have a tie where the Trans Am car that finished the furthest ahead wins the race. Winner take all, $50,000.
I love it. You know, it's so funny. When I started tuning into NASCAR, obviously, the big guys with Jeff Gordon and people like that, when I started really following it. But Mark Martin was this guy that just kept showing up. And I didn't know who he was, but he seemed intimidating. And every time I saw him, he was top six. And then finally, yesterday, I meet him. He's only a little fella. And he was talking on the mics, and he goes, the guy I didn't like racing in IROC was Unser Jr. I didn't know how he got out of an INDYCAR. But he kind of checked, because I know you, and, he just surprised me, that this intimidating guy. And it's great to have that chance to kind of see who these guys are.
Well, believe me, Mark was extremely hard to catch. Okay, I mean, he truly was. And he was in the IROC series there. He was unbeatable. I mean, he's the all-time winningest IROC driver of anybody. And so, Dale Sr. and I, we had a great time racing against each other. But when Mark came along, he just took it to a whole nother level. And so to have Mark talk about me like that is just it's an honor. He's a great race car driver, and he even came up to me and he goes, "You're my hero," and I looked at him and I go, "You're my hero." So
that's really cool. Yeah. Great. Also, Boris said racing for the first time with his son and with a family of racers in yourself. You must kind of smile to yourself at what that relationship, that chemistry.
Oh yeah, they're having the time of their lives right now, and so. When I got to race against my dad, it was extremely special. And I used my dad to learn from. And so I know exactly what Boris said and Boris said Jr. are doing right now. Jr. is a sponge. He's learning everything he can from his dad. And they get a chance to drive the same car. The notes, the discussion that they're going to have this evening is going to be phenomenal.
Well, we've got 2 trilogies here as well, one of which is the Boris Says, because Boris's dad raced here at Lime Rock, and the Brabhams, Jeff, David, and Matt have all raced here at Lime Rock. And, of course, Matt, more recently, has raced in your Trans Am series.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I tried to pull off getting that father-son combo in a car. Just couldn't make it happen for this year.
Well, Al, we've got you here, and we're going to go through the commentary, but why don't we take a closer look at, as we look down on the Skip Barber Tower as the ceremonies continue, named, of course, the 2024 year of Skip Barber. Let's take a look at the track that has been the home of he and Sam Posey and so many greats over the years, with Al Unser taking us round.
Al Jr. here, we're doing a lap around Lime Rock. Go into turn 1, it's a very fast entry, and then as you see in turn 2, it tightens right up. So you really got to get that exit right. Go through turn 3, then into turn 4, the Paul Newman straightaway. Very fast straightaway right here, and then turn 5
you got it, Tony.
is a slower corner, good passing area. Then you go up the hill into turn 6. Turn 6 is a tricky corner because you got to get everything right there. And then that on exit, you go under the bridge and down the hill. Turn 7, fastest corner on the whole track. As you can see, you got to get it right, like Andretti did not get it right that time. And then you're on the Sam Posey front straightaway. And that is a lap around Lime Rock.
And that's a lap of little old Lime Rock, one of the smallest circuits in just 1.5 miles in America, but boy, does it punch above its weight. Since the mid-50s, we've all been coming here. And just think for a second, when you think of a front row with Andy Lally on it and with Scott Speed, they made their careers right here. They did the Skip Barber School. That's where they started, and they've both been coming back here. Scott Speed, of course, has done different things since then, but what a great story.
Truly is.
Here's your starting grid. Jump in when you like. We've got Scott Speed on pole position with our youngster, Tristan McKee, and then Andy Lally and Brent Cruz, our current champion. Row 2 sees Adam Andretti and A.J. Hendrickson. They paired up before now. Menard, our T8 leader with Wlostowski, a regular in TA2. Haley Deegan coming in. What a great qualifying. Third row, never driven one of these cars. She's with regular Ben Mayer, a winner earlier this year. Labonte and Merrill, what a combination on row 3, and I can tell you that Thomas Merrill is tickled pink to be alongside the legend. Biffle and Bose, sounds good. Are they fast for Team SLR M1 race cars? Newman and Annunziata, that's a good combo as well, because we all know what Annunziata can do here at Lime Rock. Mears and Savagian, Edward Savagian from Duntoff in Dallas, Texas, and Jeff Brabham here, a record holder at this track outright in '88, alongside our master, that is Tommy Sheehan, with more races under his belt than anybody else. The Seds, Sed Boris and Sed Jr. Boris, both together for Concierge Motorsports, Ron Fellows and Ethan Barker alongside each other. They have a real age difference. Barker only 18 years of age and about to go to university. What a weekend. Hamilton and Davison, Skinner and Galante. Danny Sullivan, spin and win at the 500 with Paul Ruth. Hornaday and Gallaugher. And then Schrader and Mosak, they had to change a tyre, so they've been knocked back from their qualifying position, so they go back to the back. Davy Jones and Lecomte, and then Amy Ruman, our two-time former champion of TA, alongside Atwell. That's the grid. 19, as we said, in the All-Stars and 19 Pros. And the format, real quickly, again, the All-Stars, as Tony was telling you, start the race. They will do a full 25-minute race. Come in, no change of tyres, no change of fuel. You can maybe adjust the tyre pressures, but it's going to make for an interesting race. And the second part of that race, Al, is all about the pros. And they will know what's at stake by that point because they'll have the points.
Absolutely. They'll know how the car's working, where they're at, who's quick, who's not, who's having problems, who's not, who's going forward. And so, yeah, I mean, when the pros do get in the car and take it over from the All-Stars, they're going to know what's going on.
Have you had any feedback from some of the All-Stars who've never driven these Trans Am cars before?
Actually, I have, and they're just having the time of their lives. I asked them, how are the brakes? How is the acceleration? They go, it's great. They're just having a good time.
Any of them struggling? Because a lot of them haven't actually driven for quite some, certainly not competitively.
I haven't heard any of them say that they're struggling. They've been able to adapt to it really well.
I watched qualifying. We played the piece earlier, and it stunned me, to be honest, given that most of these guys, Biffle and everyone else, haven't driven competitively for a long time. And to get in one of these modern cars, the hard part about them is it's not like getting in a regular IMSA car right now with all the gizmos. They got nothing. It's their own abilities. Now, they probably like it that way because that's how they grew up racing, as you did. But it just adds it to it when you're getting up there in years, doesn't it?
I think they do. I think they like that you got to grab a shifter and shift it, that it's manual and all that kind of stuff. And so it's like riding a bike. You've spent your career doing all this kind of stuff in these kind of cars, in a stock car. They go out there. Within 3 or 4 laps, they're going, oh, yeah, now I remember what's going on. And the car, because it is so well built, they have good brakes, they have good acceleration, they have good grip in the corners. They're able to just adapt to it that much quicker.
Well, it's not just a thrill for those taking part. It's also a thrill for the fans out there at Lime Rock who get a chance to get a photograph. I saw a young mother coming up and getting a picture with her sons and Scott Speed. But it's also a chance for the guys that organize Trans Am to meet their heroes. At the driver's briefing this morning, all the marshals and all the flag wavers came up, as well as the AMR medical staff came up to the driver briefing just so they could be part of the event. And that, too, is something very special. I talked to Scott Lagacy, who runs the SLR team, and he said he was really enjoying getting these legends in the car and hearing how they go about preparing themselves up, because they are fish out of water, and because of their reputations, they don't want to mess it up. They want to get it right. And so he was saying he was really enjoying the questions he was being asked that obviously he doesn't get asked from some of his youngsters.
Sure, they're taking it serious, obviously, and so the car demands that from them, and so they're wanting to learn from the veteran who this car is and what are the intricacies of these cars, because every race car is a different race car. Even though it's the same kind of close to formula, each race has its intricacy differences, and that's what the veterans were looking for to get a leg up on that.
Just a reminder, the guys in the cars now don't necessarily take too much information from the onboards you're seeing. I'll keep you keep you up to date, I should say, as to who's in the car. It's not Ben Mayer at the moment, and it's got Thomas and Annunziata at the moment. So it is the All-Stars, so that's Ryan Newman you're looking at right now. And we just saw Greg Biffle, and Thomas will be taking over the car, and Thomas had a good run here. He's been on great form in Trans Am TA2. Obviously, Thomas Merrill, a 3-time winner here at Lime Rock in the last few years, and the 2022 champion. Adam Andretti had a podium here in TA earlier in the year. Paul Menard, likewise. So there's plenty of our regular guys, our pros, if you will, that won't steal the limelight necessarily. By the way, we're doing 2 laps. We're on board with Scott Speed now, 4-time Rallycross champion, Formula One for Toro Rosso, best finish at Monaco. We have another Formula One star in Danny Sullivan, back in the 80s, drove for Tyrrell. He too had his best result at Monaco, but of course, Danny, perhaps better known, just like Al Jr. here, for his exploits at the Indy 500. Little Al here, a 2-time winner of that small race. It's funny, I wondered, did it change your life as it would for any ordinary guy? And I mean that in the nicest possible way, because you came from a family that almost expected you to win.
It absolutely changed my life.
Did it really?
You betcha. It was something, it was a childhood dream come true for me, watching Dad and Uncle Bobby and all their success there. It was what I wanted to do. That's a bit of pressure, though. It was what, and it took me a long time to do it, but we finally got it done, and it changed my life 100%.
So we are getting ready for the start. On the right-hand side, you see Andy Lally in the number 70 black, red, and white. His teammate, of course, Brent Cruz, our current champion. But leading the way in the 17 is Scott Speed for Team SLR M1 race cars. And Scott Speed, I watched him do a Formula E race. Just a one-off. Somebody, got ill and they brought him in. He won the race. That's what he does. And Scott Speed is still very much in his element at the moment. But so too is Andy Lally. He's won a bunch of times here. A 5-time Daytona winner. Doesn't get much better. Here we go then. The All-Stars race into action here at Lime Rock. The SpeedTour All-Star Race gets underway and hitting the curb on the inside for a moment, but a good start from Scott Speed. He leads them away. A little further back with the number 26 of Bobby Labonte. Good start, good clean start.
Real good clean start. Yep. Very, very happy that everybody took care of each other out there.
Well, we watched the drivers briefing this morning, and they just want to be a little bit careful, not to be tense, no rubbing today, and I think they'll all be well behaved, although as you can see they're using all the track and more to start this race. But already Scott Speed starting to build a lead, trying to get away from the man chasing him at the moment, Andy Lally. And Speed just wants to hand over. Interestingly enough, the youngster we've been talking about, Tristan McKee, you heard Tony mention him. He's barely out of short shorts and just starting his career, a bit like Brent Cruz. But he's already made a name for himself. But he's actually a protege of Scott Speed. And ironically, Scott Speed was a protege of Danny Sullivan, who put a Red Bull kind of find a new driver for Formula One, an American one. And Scott Speed was the one that won out and made it to Formula One, made it to Toro Rosso. So right now, Scott is kind of giving back and helping out the same way he was helped back in the day. So great story that, just one of those many, many stories.
They're all doing really, really well. You can see some of the back half of the field. They're a lot closer to the other guys, so they're trying to make some moves on the back half.
Yeah, Paul Menard, we just got on board with him. He and Adrian Wlostowski for the Fast Auto Racing Ford Mustang team. That's a good, potent combination. Paul Menard at the top of his game, currently leading in Trans Am TA, so and won here in May in Trans Am. So Paul Menard knows exactly what he's doing out there.
Yep.
Here comes Casey Mears.
Yep. They're making moves.
Who would you say you spent the most time with over your career out of this group? That you would get?
Out of this group, it would probably be Danny Sullivan.
Yeah.
He was a teammate of mine for a couple of years, and so I think once they've gotten through the opening laps, they're just feeling everything out. Tires warming up, brakes warming up. Now it's basically go time. So.
Yeah, Casey Mears, you saw your nephew, of course, of Rick Mears. And we've been talking about Ray. Well, let's talk to him. He's right here. Busy man. We'll get him in for a couple of minutes because I know you're going to run your IROC race. But Ray, is this what you hoped it would be?
It's been more than I've hoped. The response from the fans and the racetrack, Tony Perella and his group is amazing. And what better thing to have Trans Am and IROC brands back together? And I'm sitting here watching this race, hoping my guys, at least these guys are staying on track. Great drivers in there. Many of them are going to be in the IROC race. But what a beautiful facility, and we have been given a great day.
Listen, you guys are well know what it's like to wrangle one superstar in a group of drivers, but to get 20 of them out there, I don't envy you.
Well, it's just a little tough to get some of them to the drivers' meeting when it's early. I'm not mentioning any names, but one of our great IROC champions here.
Well, listen, we're well underway. We're listening to Ray Everingham and, of course, Al Unser Jr. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with more. Stay with us. But on the live feed, we continue with the Schrader Mosak car, who've got to make it through, and they changed a tyre, an extra tyre, which was disallowed, and so they moved them back on the grid. So this is going to be pretty tough for Ken Schrader and Connor Mosak to come through, but they're trying, as you can see.
And Kenny, a former winner here. Kenny won one of the first Busch Grand National Norths that they have. So Kenny is the traveling man around America. I think he's already run 39 races this year.
Wow.
What's your plan with IROC? What do you want to do?
Oh, gosh, I'm happy doing what we're doing, but we'd love to continue to do more vintage stuff. And my dream is to bring back IROC and all of its glory and really go international and whatnot with it. But, between those steps, there's a lot of financial steps. So that's got to go through. But just what we got from the fans and the people and the thank yous, it has really encouraged us. So we're absolutely keep the vintage part of it going.
You're becoming a specialist at this. SRX, great success. Ryan Newman out there, one of your champions, and of course an IROC champion here with me. So you've got so much to pull on from, haven't you?
Well, just the brand history, what IROC meant to motorsports in general. When you look back at the drivers that have driven, not just Al, who was champion, but his father, his uncle, the Foyts, the Andretti's. There's a car here, black number 7. It's the only IROC car that Niki Lauda ever drove.
Wow.
We're talking about, we've got pictures of many of these cars with people like James Hunt and people like driving. So that full international IROC flavor is where I really want to head.
Yeah, I agree. And I know, having done the Race of Champions, the sort of inside the European version, if you will, Johansson did, and to get all those drivers together, they enjoy each other's company. They don't get a chance to hang out with each other. So it's always great to bring great champions, and the fans absolutely love it. We welcome our MAV viewers back to Lime Rock, where I've got Ray Everingham and Al Unser Jr., as you can see. And we've got a cracking race. Casey Mears going for it here in the 38 all black at the moment. And he's currently in 9th place, chasing Ryan Newman. Biffle ahead of him, Labonte, Deegan, Haley Deegan. Great qualifying from her. Got to be pleased with how she's doing.
Haley really surprised. Looks like we've got a caution. Don't know what that's for, but Haley did a great job. Girl with a lot of talent.
Yeah, she's come from off-road, obviously the daughter of Brian Deegan, but now starting to make her way in her own right. I talked to her a little bit. She's been in Xfinity for this season, and I was asking her the difference of the cars. She says it feels more like GT4 to me, but it's a great car to develop, to learn, and so on. And it seems somewhat prophetic that we're here where, of course, Skip Barber bases his school, and so many of the guys out here, including Speed and Lally, got cut their teeth in.
Right. We still don't know what the yellow flag is for yet, but yeah.
Well, there's the McLaren out there. How hard has it been, Ray, to get everything fettled? Because it's, when you're looking at a series that hasn't run for 20 years, you're finding bits and bobs and trying to find out what's good and what's not and what you can bring and what you can't.
Well, when you say get a little help from my friends, well, I get a lot of help from my friends. There's a big network of people out there and that really do appreciate what we're doing to try and save the history and respect that IROC brand. So they've been helping us find cars. Some of the drivers brought their own cars. Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte, and Ken Schrader took cars out of their regular museum. So it looks like we got a crash there.
Yep.
Yeah, and interestingly, that's at Big Ben, which is on the exit, effectively the first part of Big Ben, our Mission Foods Big Ben. And so, yeah, I'm not sure why. It's an odd place to stop, put it that way. But
yes, it is an odd place for an accident, to be honest, between turns 2 and 3 there.
Yeah, it's just behind us here in the booth, so we'll catch up on what's happened, but we're under caution.
You saw Casey Mears. He's your mover. I think he's coming on up through there. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, and the Zeds are holding station in the number 10. But I would have thought some of the more experienced drivers, shall I put it that, are probably going, caution, thank goodness for that.
Well, they haven't raced long enough yet to do that, but yeah, it's an exciting race. They're doing a great job out there.
I'll ask this to both of you. I mean, you're champions in your own right. I don't say you get the red mist, but it all comes back, doesn't it? And whether it's second nature, just the joy and also the competitive spirit. Once you get behind the wheel, there's no stopping you. I know I've seen racing drivers that once the helmet goes down.
No matter what, all these drivers want to win this race because they're out there in the race. So it looks like Brabham has gone down 2 laps. It must be him.
Yeah,
had the accident.
Yeah, could well be. Yeah. So Jeff Brabham. In fact, they had an off in free practice as well. Brabham at the wheel. They did free practice where they swapped drivers. Tommy Sheehan, one of our most experienced drivers, the Iron Man as we call him. He's just delighted to have Jeff, who is a multiple IMSA champion, and he's done everything from Le Mans to you name it, Daytona, and of course a bit like the Unser dynasty, the Brabham dynasty continues with Matthew. And so good to see them still going. Matthew, still part of our Trans Am series, still does the Super Trucks, a multiple champion in that. In fact, several of this field have done Super Trucks after their regular careers, and that's another great thing for the crowd. And so we're under caution here. We're 15 minutes into this race, or 15 minutes left in this race, but still plenty more racing from the All-Stars.
Yeah,
The PIR Speed Tour returns to Portland International Raceway July 26th through the 28th, featuring the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli Western Championship, the Sports Car Vintage Racing Association, Prototype Sprint Series Association, the Optima Search for the Ultimate Street Car, and Saturday you can take part in the Haggerty Cars and I want to miss the PIR Speed Tour July 26th through the 28th. For tickets, simply go to speedtour.net.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Welcome back. As you can see, this is the incident where it looks like we think the Sheehan-Brabham car has gone off at the exit of, the middle of Big Ben, really. And they're just loading it up on the hauler. Alongside me, Ray Everingham and Alan Jr.
Yeah, Ray, that does look like a mechanical, doesn't
it? It does. It does look like a mechanical. There, it doesn't seem to be damaged there. It might have had a flat tire or something and just had to pull it off the speedway.
So good vantage points for some of the viewers out there. It's been beautiful weather, absolutely gorgeous as we go back on Ken Schrader's car. And just another one of the greats that are part of this. In all, 763 NASCAR Cup starts. Doesn't get any better. And we welcome once again our viewers on MAV TV. We've got 13 minutes left in our first All-Star race, and it's the All-Stars up first. They'll be replaced by the men on the right-hand side, and women in the only lone woman we have got Pippa Mann here, but unfortunately out there. And so they will get in the car after a 25-minute stint. Points will be awarded for this first race from 19 down, and then our pros will get in the cars, and they too will race for points at 19 down. The cumulative figure at the end of that race will be the winner. If we have a tie, and a lot of people have been asking this, Ryan Newman asked it in the driver's briefing, but if we have a tie, it'll be the highest Trans Am of the second group. So, and it's 50 grand. We haven't really mentioned too much because it really is. It's not a charity event, but it's a fun event. But there is a lot of money up for grabs for the winners.
It's a winner take all.
Yep.
There's nothing for second and back, and so everybody is striving to get that first place.
We're expecting green next time by, and guys, you've now had your run of the field. We're not going to tell anybody except the world that's listening. Who do you think could come through here? I mean, out of the top, let's say 10.
I'm favoring Scott Speed and McKee. I mean, they're really, really good together as a team. You know, Lally and Cruz, they're regulars in the TA. So one of those two guys is going to have your best opportunity to take that 50 grand home.
And I'm going to tell you what, there's a couple of my old NASCAR buddies in there. Sixth, Bobby Labonte with Merrill.
Yeah.
Bobby's a good road racer, and Merrill's been champion before. And you got Biffle and Bose there. That Greg Biffle again, another racer. Oh, and then Ryan Newman right there. So the NASCAR guys are showing well.
In terms of the pairings, Newman and Annunziata a very strong pairing, and Annunziata one of our hot shoes. Thomas Merrill, as you say, a 2022 champion, and also a 3-time winner here at Lime Rock. So he knows around, and we don't want to doubt Labonte. He knows what he's doing around here. Mayer, a winner at Worldwide Technology, and he and Deegan. As the green flag waves, we're away again. This is vital now for Scott Speed to get right. Andy Lally right there behind him, goes to the inside in the 70, bouncing over the curbs for a moment, but Speed keeps it right in the middle of the track, giving him no way around the inside or outside as they come through Big Bend. Our Mission's Food Big Bend. Good racing by Scott Speed. He's seen it all before. Formula One, rally cars, NASCAR, you name it, he's done it all. Off-roading, and now we're on board with Hailie Deegan, just fresh from Xfinity, and she is paired up with another youngster, Ben Mayer, who I mentioned earlier, and over the top she goes, and really enjoying her chance to get involved in this. And I asked her about her future because she's just let go of her Xfinity ride, and she said, I don't know, I'm just going to take each day as it comes, but this is a great day to be part of it. So not a bad event to get back and get going again.
Well, and I can tell you that I worked with her closely when we did the SRX series, and she is a very, very good race car driver, very accomplished on dirt, almost beat Tony Stewart at Knoxville, was afraid to give him a little bump. I told her next time he's getting in front of you, go ahead and give him a little bump. That's there. She'd have been a little bit more aggressive.
I don't know what the smoke would do with that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know where to compute.
He wouldn't know. He'd have been but very well respected what she did in the SRX cars against some great drivers.
Great job.
Well, we are looking at the clock. 9 minutes to go. 19 points to the winner. Some damage there to Haley's car. So I think she's bumped into the back of whoever at the start of this race.
Must not have been afraid to take my advice.
There you go.
Yeah, thank God we don't have her in the IROC cars.
Yes, indeed. And I'm just amazed at the performance level of these cars. They are going quick.
They are really good cars. I was able to drive a couple of races at Road Atlanta, and I was so impressed with the cars, the tire choices, the other drivers. Good, fun cars to drive. Relatively inexpensive compared to a full-blown Trans Am car, and just fun to drive, fun to maintain. Great if you're bringing up a young person who wants to drive and compete. The TA2 Series to me.
I tell you what, man, we haven't mentioned too much is Adam Andretti. He races in both TA and TA2 at the moment. He's pairing up with his old mucker AJ Hendrickson, a team owner that he raced with and for back in the day, and now they're paired up again, and currently Andretti in fourth position. There he is
in the 44, loves these kind of events and loves being around. Everybody knows Adam Andretti, and of course everybody knows the great Mario Andretti, who won here back in '63, I believe. So another dynasty that we should talk of. And Nitro Motorsports, I bet tickle pink to be having such world-class drivers in their car.
And what a great show, guys. But I've got to go get ready for a next show. Great. Yep. Thanks for inviting me in. Al, we'll see you in a little while.
Yes,
Don't be
sir.
late for your car. Al is driving one of the cars he won a championship
I'll make sure I send him.
All righty. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray Everingham, who, of course, is running the IROC Series. They'll be out. You don't want to miss that. And as you heard there, little Al going to be racing. That's a big bit of damage to Deegan's car, but it doesn't seem to be affecting her. But it got a big dent on the front there for sure. It might overheat if the radiator is damaged, but right now she's on good pace. So the clock ticking down. I'll just put some. I'm going to see what the. We're not looking too closely at the clock in terms of outright lap times. I'm just trying to keep an eye on if anybody could come through that is looking on pace to do so. To go on Greg Biffle, and he's behind the Merrill Labonte car.
They're definitely trying to race each other hard. Now is the time. There's, approximately 7 minutes left. The newness of the tires has gone away now. And so track conditions getting slippery. Now is when the driver really to play as they compete.
Yeah, you know, one thing, Al, we've done Trans Am commentary where we do the full hour, obviously, in the 100 miles. It's going to be interesting to see who uses the tire in this first 25 minutes and kind of hands over the car with not a lot of tire left.
That's right. You just don't know. You know, with the All-Stars out here right now, they could be using their tires up way too much.
Yep. Not a lot of experience. I'm looking at the times. 53.4 from Speed, 53.7 from Andy Lally. Not a lot between those front two, and then it drops off a little bit. Labonte just did his fastest time at 54.5, so they're all on great pace here. All the way down to the Hornaday Gallaugher car at 56.5 in 14th position. Look at this.
Yeah, I think the Deegan car is holding these guys up.
I think you're right.
And they're starting to, Labonte and Biffle, they're right there. Somebody's gonna make a move here pretty quick.
Well, Nitro Motorsports well represented. Andretti representing them. So too the Deegan car with Ben Mayer. Great onboard shots there.
Yeah, this is your race right here for 5th, 6th, and 7th.
And the clock ticking down, 5 minutes to go, and the gap now between Speed and Lally is now extended to 1.3 seconds. We're watching the obvious battle because Deegan is kind of holding up at the moment. Labonte in the 26. And Merrill will be well pleased to see this happening because he's going to jump in a moment. We get a 5-minute changeover. What would you say to your driver?
They're racing each other hard right now.
What do you think they want to know when you get out?
I would want to know how is the car? Is it pushing or is it loose? Does it have real good grip? Is the balance good? Are the brakes good? That's important.
Yeah, good point.
That's important. So that's what I would be wanting to know from the All-Star getting out of the car. And so, yeah.
So, 4 minutes to go now.
Yeah, Lime Rock is just such a challenging course. It's got all the fast corners, the slow corners. It's got many different lines out there, and so yeah, we'll see how this all plays out right here.
The hard thing about Lime Rock is where you overtake. I mean, the obvious place is at turn 1, and after that, it's always lunging, isn't it? I mean, you're really taking risks.
Yes, yeah. For the rest of the racetrack, yeah, turn 1 is your primary passing area, but you got to get under the bridge, down the hill, and through turn 7 really, really well. And unfortunately, it's a really fast corner, so you need the aero grip on your car. So when you're right behind somebody, it makes it difficult to get a run on the front straightaway. But it looks like we're going to make an attempt here with Labonte. He's trying hard. He may have a run on her.
Yeah, and that is quite a lot of damage to that front, so it can't be 100%. Here he comes! Oh, Bobby thought about it. The man who won the 2000 Cup Series and many, many other races in his time.
He made some contact right there.
A little bit of rubbing.
Yep.
Little bump, get out of the way. It's all within his wheelhouse, though. He can do that.
Oh yeah. That's what these cars do.
Exactly. That's what they're made for. Rubbin's racing. That's what we say. No, it's great stuff, and what a joy to see 8,000 NASCAR starts, 43 Formula One starts, and 242 INDYCAR starts, 6 24 hours of Le Mans winners. It doesn't get any better. 7 24-hour Daytona class winners, and 5 IMSA championships to Jeff Brabham alone. Whoa, we got another off.
We got a spin.
Is that Deegan? I think it is. Yeah, I think Deegan's.
Yep, could have been.
Yeah.
I couldn't really tell on the back of the car there.
Now, this makes it interesting for Ben Mayer because we're now running out. Ooh, and the 69's gone off as well.
Yeah, see, this is
Jones
the
and
time with all the newness of the tires. They're starting to lose their grip out there. And these guys, they're not used to these cars, so they really don't know where that balance is going to go.
Here's your leader. Here's your leader for Franklin Road and Q3, Scott Speed and Tristan McKee. Tristan had to get in the car, the teenager. Scott Speed, one of the most accomplished drivers in the USA, and has flown the flag for Red Bull and the USA for many a year in multiple championships. And he hasn't lost a bit of it, has he?
Approaching 2 minutes left. There's probably 2 laps left in the race. So.
Yeah, and it's not a surprise. The two we're watching out front are regular drivers still. They're still pounding around the circuits. I talked to Andy Lally in second place, and he says he has 1 weekend spare for the rest of the year.
That's good.
Yeah, that means he's good. Now, let's have a look at what happened here. This is Deegan. So she actually banged into the back of Jones. So Davey Jones it is who goes out, and both of them sent wide. Luckily not gathering anybody else up. But she was under pressure from Labonte, and therefore I think maybe just, she was concentrating on what was behind her perhaps. It just didn't come off for her.
Yeah.
Here we go. We'll see it from here now. Look. Just touched the grass.
She got impatient with the lap car there.
That's a shame. It's good. It's been a good run. But that makes it interesting for Ben Mayer. Here's another look. Yeah, I tell you what, Labonte did a very good job of avoiding.
He did.
Great stuff. So some drama here. Who says they're not racing? This is not an exhibition, folks. But the time clock now is ticking down to the last minute. Scott Speed leads the way from Andy Lally. Paul Menard in third place. Adam Andretti in fourth. Bobby Labonte in fifth. Greg Biffle sixth. Ryan Newman seventh. Casey Mears up to 8th. You were quite right. Casey Mears, the man on the move. The Seds are up into the top 10. Boris leading the way. Just retired just a few months ago at Sonoma. And both of them wearing the Hendricks colors. The checkered flag is out here at Lime Rock. And sure enough, Scott Speed takes the checkered flag for the All-Stars and picks up the full 19 points. Second across the line is Andy Lally.
Scott did a great job out there from the pole position. And so... they did great.
Well, both Scott and Andy Lally said all they want to do is hand the car over in one piece, clean, to the pro, because they know that's what these guys do week in, week out. And this next 25 minutes race could be very interesting indeed between the youngster, Tristan. I say they're both youngsters, but Tristan's even younger than our current champion, Brent Cruz, at 16.
Yeah, so now we'll go on our 5-minute break, and they'll be the pro is going to be going. How are the brakes? How are the tires? What kind of car are you giving me right now?
Yeah, and the other thing, I bet these cars don't like to be stopped in the middle of a race.
Well, the heat, the radiant heat will kind of heat soak the car, but they should be okay. There's red flags that happen during the events. The cars. They're built to go through those procedures too.
So here is how we do this. They will come in order and stop the cars, and then they will swap drivers, and then they will do again 2 laps to acclimatize the pro drivers to the seat, and then we will go racing again.
Okay.
Let's head down to Ben Sissel, who's got the latest as we take our break in between our All-Star race. Ben, over to you.
Well, here I am. I'm in pit lane.
Now the cars are going one more lap under pace. We'll walk through. We've got Scott Lagasse here, Tristan McKee. Tristan, turn around for the camera, because right now, a lot of pressure on you, Tristan. This is the, yeah, he's going to get out there, but this is kind of your race right now. How's it feeling?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous, my first TA2 race, but I feel good. Scott has us in a good position, and I can just keep the guys behind me, and so I can run a good race and hopefully win.
Nice. And then Barry Bowes, your partner's Greg Biffle, right? How's he doing out there?
Greg is doing a great job. You know, this is his first time ever to Lime Rock Park. He hasn't been in one of these cars before, and he's picking. He's a pro. He's picking up fast.
Nice. I love it. And Barry, you're going to be with us next weekend in Portland too, right?
Yes, I am.
So Barry Bowes just can't get enough of these Trans Am cars. We're going to come down here, talk to Thomas Annunziata as Ryan Newman gets in. So Thomas Annunziata obviously ready to get in. Ryan Newman's looking really good in your car. How you feeling?
I feel good. We got 6 cars to pass instead of 19 from last time, so I have a good shot. The car's really fast, and these boys deserve a victory, so let's see what we can do.
Yeah, Ryan Newman, if you're watching, Thomas Annunziata, one of our fastest drivers, but he's been starting in the back lately, so this is a good starting position for Thomas.
It's been a while since I've seen the front, so it's nice. It's nice.
I love it. That's because you got Jimmy Live doing air pressure. We're staying up front today.
Nice. Jimmy Live on the scene doing air pressures. We've got Brent Cruz coming in. Brent Cruz, you're going to be starting second. Andy Lawley, though, seemed to be catching Scott speed near the end, so your car's looking good.
Sure is. Yeah, Andy did a great job. Just want to thank the good Lord above for letting us all be here. It's an honor to be able to race with all these cool guys. So many cool names, and looking forward to getting in this thing, and I think we got a hot rod.
Nice. He says, I think we have a hot rod. Here we're going to come down here because here come our leaders to the pink shoes of Misty Richter as we come down, and now the pace car is right here, and now they're going to start to get out of the car. Now, they do have 5 minutes, so you can take your time getting out, but you can see Scott Speed coming out here with the car. I've taken off the door, try to help them out. A lot of these drivers are pretty unfamiliar with these. Scott, take your time. Don't rush this. Here, wait, you're plugged in. There you go. So, Scott Speed, class of the field so far. I know you got your helmet on and you got your earbuds in. Tristan's right behind you, your co-driver. But, man, you know, you got pole. You started the racing first. You finished your racing first. Couldn't ask for any better.
Yeah, super pumped. You know, Scott Lagasse's brought us a really great car. Big thanks for Trans Am for putting on this event. This is so much fun to go out there and just hang around these guys all week, and it's been quite an experience. And we get to get Tristan some freaking really valuable experience in racing. He's just 13 years old. So, yeah, overall, a great weekend so far. We'll see what he can do.
Nice. Well, impressive, Scott Speed. Hey, come on, give me one of these. I hope to see you back in the TA2 Series. Tristan's going to be back with us in the TA2 Series when he gets old enough next year. Are you excited?
Yes, I'm very excited. Plan on doing at least the whole or most of the series next year, so I'm super excited.
Well, you couldn't be with a better team. Running with Chevrolet. Great development right there with Scott Lagasse Jr., so awesome. Then we come down here, Andy Lawley. I know you're disappointed to finish second in pole, then come in behind, but it seemed like you were catching him near the end.
It was. There was a little traffic that helped close our gap. We were burning the left rear off initially, and then I started changing my drive style, burning the left front off after that. I want to say a quick thanks to Nitro Motorsports and these guys. This is my first race ever in my life, my first car race without my friend Walter Simmeninger. We lost him on Saturday and on Sunday, and so it's been. He took me here. He's been responsible for every step of what I've done and gotten here. So this one's for him, and hopefully our young guy Brent Cruz can take it to the front and get a W here for Nitro Motorsports, Franklin Road, Fixie Wheels, and this awesome team.
But 18 out of 19 points, that's not bad, but I know you like to be at the sharp edge.
Yeah, you know, I don't like losing to anybody. Scott's a good dude. I still don't like losing to him, but he had a good jump, opened up a real good gap first couple laps, and then we sort of just leveled off, gained a little bit in traffic on him, just awesome, and this is a blast to race, so I'm pretty stoked.
I love it. Thank you. Congratulations. Now we're going to come back here to our TA Championship leader for the season. He's talking to his co-driver, Wlostowski. I'm just going to put the mic in. No, keep going, guys. I want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, we're just talking about brake bias and stuff. Car's good. Car's good. It started off a little bit loose, full load. These TA2 cars, Adrian's giving me a school on how these things work. A lot of fun. That is such a great event. I mean, getting to race with some of my heroes, Danny Sullivan, Jeff Brabham. I've never got to race with those guys. Davey Jones, Davey Hamilton, then pretty much everybody else I think I've run with at one point in my life. But awesome event. Proud to be here.
I think you were teammates with Andy Lawley, so here you are finishing 2 and 3, but 17 points for Paul Menard out of 19. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, we'll take it, and it's up to Adrian now.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Paul. Then we come back here. Adam Andretti, our all-star here, as his friend A.J. Hendrickson gets in. How does it feel?
It's great out there. I mean, it's typical Lime Rock Park, just a really fun place to drive, challenging place to pass, and I left it open on the restart, and it's something I never do. Any of those Trans Am fans out there know that that's my MO, so I hated that. That was not an all-star move by me, but AJ is going to get in there and do a great job in this 44 ECC Motorsport, or ECC and Engineer Components Company, and 44 Nitro Motorsports Ford Mustang here. It'll be good. It'll be good.
Nice, and I like that top liner hat, too. Yeah, nice job, Adam. So let's come back here because we've got some cool stuff happening right here. Gentlemen, I'm just going to get you together if you don't mind. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in this conversation. Both of you get out of very fast cars. How does it feel, Greg Biffle?
Oh, it felt great. I'll tell you what, I had an awesome time, and thanks to Scott and the team, Legacy and Barry. They taught me a lot with data and getting around here, but I had so much fun. I was telling Bobby, I said, I thought I had you a few times. And, he thought he had Haley also. So we were reminiscing. We were having a good time.
Yeah. So, Bobby, this is just like, just jumping in a time machine for you, right? You're just talking to Biffle right after a race?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And it's a lot of fun. And like he was talking about, looking at data with Scott. I'm looking at it with Mike and Thomas, and we're going over data yesterday and today. You saw that today at lunch, just trying to figure these things out. They're so much fun to drive. I can't thank Mike Cope enough for letting me have this opportunity. And, for Tony, I mean, it's a blast for us guys to come out here. And we were just talking about, like, hey, I was going to try you that one lap. I know, I saw you back there, but I said, dude, we're breaking off in the corner, like, really hard, so don't do that. And so, but, yeah, we had a good race and, came home. Hopefully we'll give these pro guys a chance to get 50 grand.
Well, here's the thing I was really impressed with, Biffle, Labonte. I was at lunch with you, and you were looking over the laptop with Thomas, looking at laps. You're just always a student of the sport. Is that true for you, too? I know you were going back in, and you and Barry were reviewing everything. So all the knowledge that you have, you can always learn more, huh?
Yeah, you always can. And I'll tell you what, these teams, to provide all of that stuff for this SpeedTour All-Star Race is fascinating. And what Tony's done and the whole series in Lime Rock, they provided something for us that was fun, got back in it, and we got the fans to see some decent racing. Now we'll see what these are pros right here, okay? These guys are pros.
All right, well, Bobby, are you having fun?
Oh, absolutely. Always having fun behind the wheel. We got an IROC race going on later today, but Tony's been great. Run a V-Rock, 2 V-Rock races with him years ago, and always keep up with him and what they're doing. And the TA2 cars, Maurice Hall, a friend of mine, has a TA2 team, so he's like 7 minutes from my house, so I see him, quite often. And, this series is it's pretty amazing. And these drivers are, they're spot on. And, Thomas coached me through a lot. Never been here before like all of us. And, to go out there and, be within, kind of halfway respectable, and they're like, okay. But, man, it'd be fun to do this a little bit more. And these are great little race cars.
We would love to have both of you in the TA2 Series. This was my formal invitation. Thank you guys so much. Well, hold on. Let's talk to Casey. Mears, how was it out there? You and Edward Savagian, I see you walking by. You still look like you're in really good race shape. Did you have fun?
I had a blast, man. I got a lot of action up ahead of us. It's funny, Newman and I had some really good races early on. I had a couple good dives going down the inside of him into one. And I was really fast down the back, and he was a little faster through the tight technical stuff. And so it made for a lot of fun. Just tried to keep it clean. Didn't want to tear these guys' cars up. And, it feels really good to be in a race car again.
You moved up some positions.
Yeah, I got a spot or two, and keeping it clean, and I really want to thank everybody at Concierge Motorsports. Guys are super helpful, and to do this is a big undertaking. We appreciate what they do.
Thank you, Casey Mears. Nice job. Hold on, let's run back here because we got Ryan Newman, Ken Schrader. Check this out, right out of the cars. You guys, this has got to feel really good. Kenny, did you have fun out there?
I had a lot of fun.
So it's going to get a little bit loud. We're going to talk to the drivers, but I'm going to come to what I'm going to do is talk through this. Pros are getting in the cars. You guys can kind of relax a little bit, but it looked like you had a lot of fun out there. They're going to go out, but Kenny, Did you have fun? You got to pick up a lot of positions.
I didn't pick up many, but my boys told me I did great. So I'm figuring all them other cars in front of me, they did excellent. Yeah.
Ryan Newman, welcome back. You're in Thomas Annunziata's. Now, I don't know if you follow the last couple of races. He started from the back. You gave him his best starting position in probably 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, there was nothing to be proud about. I'm happy that I kept the car clean and gave him a good piece to work with as far as no damage. But I'm excited about watching him. Got to thank everybody. Tony Pennell and everybody puts this on. Everybody here at Lime Rock. It's been a lot of fun. And I broke a sweat, which is good for my heart. And we'll watch this next 25 minutes.
I love it. Well, Ryan Newman, the Rocket Man. Let's come over here. Boris said, gets comments from talking through everybody. Boris, now you're stuck in there. How does it feel?
I mean, it's just something I never thought I'd get the chance to do to drive like Mr. Ryan. So for English Canyon Racing
So, as you can see, the pros are on track, and we got some interesting insights. Boy, they are bouncing off the walls. And Al, you had a chat with somebody.
Yeah, I went out and I talked to Davey Hamilton out there, and he's all red in the face. He's got some sweat going. You could tell he's been working hard. And I go, well, how is it? How's the car? He said, well, it was a little bit loose, and it was bottoming out a lot. So he was driving it fast enough to make that happen, and so he had a smile from ear to ear.
You know, I don't know what you buy a racing driver or an ex-racing driver for Christmas, because there's nothing that competes with a life at the highest level of motorsport. But something like this is about as close to reliving what they did at the time. Would
all
you agree?
These guys, absolutely. You just heard Ryan Newman and Kenny Schrader.
Yeah.
They're just super happy. They're going out there, and they just had a great time out there. And so thanking Tony Perella for having him doing this, and hope it continues to go.
Yeah.
And by the way the fans are around here, there's a good shot at that happening.
You know, and Tony made a good point. You know, we want everybody to get home and be safe. We've got the latest Flagtronic system being used that we use in Trans Am. We've got the latest Pirelli tires. The cars are absolutely spec'd to the safest possible. We've got the best marshals in the land here at Lime Rock. So, you know, any fear that any of these more experienced retired drivers might have had is washed away, because, yes, the challenge is more the car than worrying about the event. Tony Perella knows exactly what he's doing. SCCA and Trans Am do this every other weekend. You've been part of it. And that's another side of this, which is to attract so many great stars and their reputations. You've really got to make sure that you cover all of the bases. And we welcome back our man viewers as we get ready for the resumption of our all-star race here, part of the Speed Tour. We've got a full day of racing here from Lime Rock, but this is really special. We were here at Memorial Weekend, which is our traditional Trans Am fair, at a race won by Paul Menard, I may add, who's out there, or was out there for the All-Stars, and he's handed the car over to Adrian Wlostowski. We're on board with Barry Bowes in the Ford Mustang from Austin, Texas, and Barry Bowes aligned with Greg Biffle. We heard from him, really enjoying it. But now, if you like, the writing's on the wall, because 19 points goes to Speed, 18 points goes to Lally, Menard gets 17, and all the way down to 1 point. So it's not a hard calculation. You know exactly where you are.
And you've got all the regular drivers of these cars. They know these cars by heart. They're coming down for the green flag. You could see them moving over, trying to protect that. They're getting into turn one, and it's green.
What a way to start your first ever TA2 race, leading a full house of champions and regulars. And round the outside goes Brent Cruz immediately to put pressure on the youngster, McKee. And banging is banging. And he says no. He might be a little younger than Brent Cruz, but he's not letting him through. How about that, Al?
Move. I tell you what, they're racing each other hard. See, they know their cars. They know it like the back of their hand. They're out there running it.
Not holding
Look
back,
at this.
side by side down the Paul Newman straight. Even Paul Newman will be proud with that move. Nicely done by Brent Cruz as he takes the lead, our current TA2 champion. Already a development driver for Toyota, and on his way Wlostowski in the CMI number 3. Put that number 3 on the car because of Dale Earnhardt. He is pinching himself to be part of this event, which is so historic. Look at this.
Yeah, he got up behind him and took his air. Got a little bit loose. Oh,
round goes Wlostowski, and he was pushed out the way by Merrill there. And they were all jostling for position. And that was great pirouette, though, by Wlostowski, the man from Brooklyn in New York. On board with Merrill, now up to 3rd place. 2022 TA2 champion from Salinas, California, and a 3-time winner here at Lime Rock. We'll see if he gets in trouble for that, because that was a pretty muscly move.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that since everything straightened out, that was just a local yellow for the time being, and they're back green. They're racing each other hard.
Yeah, very hard. And Annunziata is right there too, and Merrill knows just how quick Annunziata is, and he'll want to see if he can get past. Here's another look at it. Al, what's your judge on this?
Yeah, he just got a little bit loose there, and then the other one got a run on him. They moved each other over. Yep.
Tough one, isn't it? Because you have to say racing
he
incident.
didn't have anything to do, down below like that. So,
well, Annunziata gets past Merrill, and I said how quick he is. Eat clean, bro. And he just made an eat clean move. And Annunziata gets moved by Merrill. And I'll tell you what, they are not holding back our regulars.
That's right. See, they know the cars and they know how to rub on each other without taking each other out.
Exactly.
Where the All-Stars, they were being super careful out there.
Well, interesting to see A.J. Hendrickson just behind that battle we're watching. He and Andretti, of course, that pairing. Behind them, Bose. Biffle just got out of the car. Ben Mayer has taken over from Haley Deegan. And Boris Said Jr. on his way through and chasing in the footsteps of his father. Has proved to be, in just a matter of a year or so, a very proficient TA2 driver.
I think these guys are thinking that 50 grand's a lot.
Barry Bose gets through, does he? And yes, just about. Barry Bose makes his move. And that was nicely done on A.J. Hendrickson as we go back with McKee. McKee, I should say.
These guys are racing each other hard.
Yeah, very hard. So right now, it will be Cruz to take it home.
Yep. Again, I want to remind everybody, this is winner take all. There's nothing for second and back.
Yep,
So
no
it's
other prize
winner
money.
take all.
Winner take all. 50 grand up for grabs. Bose overtaken by Ben Mayer. Ben, another teenager on his way up. Got his first win at Worldwide Technology. Got pole position. And is very much making a name for himself in this championship. And another one to look for the future. Mayer up to 5th place now.
Boy, these guys are racing each other hard. This is a fantastic show.
Yeah, and let's just remind yourselves, if you look to your top left there, 20 minutes to go, just over. And Cruz leads from Annunziata. So it's Lally, Cruz, Newman, and Annunziata. Annunziata, I tell you what, Ben made a prophetic comment at the start. Annunziata has basically won races from the back due to infringements this season. And now he gets a 7th place start. He can't go wrong. He's already up to 2nd place. Merrill still 3rd and already banging away. Wlostowski has dropped down. And it doesn't sound 100%. They're down in 18th position. So the Menard Wlostowski hope has gone. Amy Ruman.
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job. They're running them hard. We'll see if Annunziata can get up there.
Yeah, I said Amy Ruman, and I was just wondering where she was, and I think she's pulled out, and we might see if we can grab her and put her in the booth, because she was running in 13th with John Atwell, and of course she was originally due to be with Pippa Mann. We go on board with Connor Mosak, another one of our regulars. Connor on his way. He's done some Xfinity already. Came back after a season of Xfinity and came back to Trans Am. So again, big compliment to him. Now, I said Amy Ruman and then looked down the board and thought, where's she gone? And she's right here. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Well, what are you doing up here?
Today I became the All-Star. So we switched cars and got a brake problem on the other car, so they switched me to a different car today. So I started the race today with no laps. in this car, and
that's a challenge at its best.
Moved up a little bit, and so now John's out there and he's tearing it up. So hopefully we'll make our way through the field.
Now, I asked you a stupid question because, of course, a multiple T8 champion, but I said, oh, how do you like the T8 car? You said, I've never driven one. I was like, wow, have you not? What do you think?
Not till this weekend. It's definitely different than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
A lot more roly-poly, but once I got the hang of it and found some grip, we had a good time. It was fun.
And how is it hanging out with all these household names in IROC and, Trans Am of past?
I'll tell you, to be among this group is a real honor, and what a weekend Tony put together for all of us. And it was spectacular to meet so many famous people and so many accomplished race car drivers. I couldn't be more proud to be here and just be a part of this weekend.
It's rare I see drivers giddy about other drivers. It's usually the fans that want the autograph or the photo. But every one of you has said to a man or a woman, I really, really enjoy this weekend because you don't get a chance to hang out with a Bobby or a Ken Schrader or whoever.
Right. It's rare to have this much star power in one area at one time. I'll tell you that.
Thank you. I tell you, were you having fun out there? Was your car working the way that you wanted it to work?
I was. Today, it took me a minute to get a hang of it, just 2 laps or so, and then once I got the feel of where everything was, I just didn't have a lot of time in the car yesterday. I think I only had maybe 6-8 laps, and they weren't at speed. So today was a learning curve for me.
We've had a pass for the lead as we've been talking.
Yeah, and it's Annunziata, no big surprise, and that puts them up to second by my calculations. I say mine. That would be really big news, and it actually puts them leading the way and puts down Scott Speed. But it's all happening here. 50 grand on the line. And you can see the racing is absolutely fast and furious. Well, welcome back, my viewers. You come at the right time. We're on board with Thomas Merrill as he chases down Brent Cruz. We've got Amy Ruman and Al Hunter Jr. here in the booth. And this is a doozy for 50 grand. It's hard to look. I didn't know where to look.
They are racing hard,
yeah.
These guys. Yep.
They told us at the drivers' meeting to, be
careful.
cautious, but with the last 10 minutes here, we're going to see some action, that's for sure.
I think so, yeah. These guys know what they're doing with these cars. Amy Ruman, of course, a regular in our TA championship, and I reckon there's a championship still to be won there, right?
Yeah, I think so. Menard's got a pretty good lead on all of us, but the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th are pretty tight yet. So there's a lot of racing left to do in the season, so we should have some good fun runs here at the end of the season.
Well, I know the man most motivated here has got to be Thomas Merrill. He's a former champion. He has been there, done that, got the T-shirt, and he enjoys coaching some of these youngsters. Look at this racing. But he would love nothing more than to get the scalp of Brent Cruz on a day like this. And Annunziata, who, by the way, has come from 7th to now lead this race. And by my calculations, they are going to win the 50 grand. And 2nd will go to Cruz and Lally. And 3rd at the moment will be Thomas Merrill. That's why he's on the move, and he wants to give Bobby Labonte another victory in his star-studded career. Look at this.
It's 3 abreast.
3 abreast into one. What?
Well, they're getting into traffic now, so they're having to manage to get by some of the guys in the back, and then the pack's trying to move through.
Shuffling the whole thing.
Yeah, shuffling the whole thing, which creates opportunities.
Yes, it does.
On board with Ben Mayer, another one of our youngsters coming up. He's had a great season so far, and he's absolutely on it. As you say, now they're getting into traffic, and at Lime Rock, that's almost like the worst possible scenario, because there's nowhere else to go, is there?
You got a couple good passing zones, and that's about it. Other times, you guys have to set them up and try to catch them on the straightaway is usually the best pass zone.
It's also hard to get out of the way, as McKee now under big pressure from Ben Mayer. Just 2 years between those two. Ben, one of our youngest drivers, who pulls up the visor there, the heat coming in, and of course that damage to the front. Obviously it's not affecting the car, but it looks a little peripheral rather than hit the radiator.
Yeah, he's just going to have to keep his eye on the temps in the car and just make sure he doesn't overheat it.
Yeah. Well, Barry Bowes is right behind him. Then Mosak has come well through. Remember, Schrader and Mosak started at the back of the grid because they took an extra tire. They're up to 7th.
And then I got to point us out. John's up to 11th here.
Doing good.
We started second to last, so he's moving his way through. I made a few positions, and he's really on the move now.
What did you tell him once he got in?
I said, go get him.
That's great.
I might have used a couple other
yeah.
colorful
a little bit more
adjectives,
colorful,
but
yeah.
absolutely. We're on the air.
But nothing to change the car. It wasn't loose or anything.
No, the car felt really good. I told him you probably have a really good race car, and we had a little bit of fresher tires because we didn't get to qualify the car yesterday, so we started on brand new tires.
Ah, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is turning out to be a very special day for Annunziata, who really is taking it to them. And standings after 10 minutes of this race, there you see it, 36, 1 point. Lally and Cruz ahead of Speed and McKee, and then Merrill and Labonte and Annunziata on 32 points. And that's changing by the second.
Yes, it is. That's what I wanted to point out. That may not be where they are right now.
Yeah, it has actually changed literally since we made that graphic, because obviously now with Annunziata leading, it's different than that. But boy, it's fast and furious. I'm loving this format.
And the leader's pulled out. He's got a 5-second lead now, so he's in his comfort zone right now. He's just trying to bring it home.
Amy, one of the things we mentioned was we didn't know what the All-Star guys would do with the tires, so they're handing over. I mean, obviously not yourself, but some of the other guys who hadn't driven these cars might put some heavy wear for the 100-mile race. It's a regular race distance for us, but you never know what you're going to get.
Right. If they're just not used to it, but a lot of these guys have raced so many different things that, I think they're pretty versed into tire wear.
Yeah. Well, from what I'm seeing is
Yellow
these guys are
out
there running their race, and they're using everything up right now.
Yeah.
We didn't see the All-Stars racing this hard.
No.
So these guys probably have pretty good tires that they're out running.
Right. And we didn't have to. The All-Stars didn't have to race this hard. They just needed to get the position for the pro and then have them go at it.
Right. Yeah.
Here we go. McKee under pressure again. McKee and Ben Mayer trying to make the move, and he sticks right behind him into Big Ben. Our Mission Foods Big Ben. Nothing between these two. And you can see as we go on board with Ben Mayer how much he's working that car, changing the gears, getting on the acceleration, coming up towards the Paul Newman straight.
You might get him here.
He might.
Nope.
Little tap. Whoa, he did. He's pushing him. Woo!
I love it. I love watching racing this close.
This is great
Well, you
stuff.
close the door on him there for sure. He's not gonna let him take that pass.
Yeah, there's only a certain amount of patience that you have when you're trying to make a move like he is, and so it's going to run short here in a little bit.
Yeah, they still have about 11 minutes left here, so they gotta wait a couple more minutes, and then I'm sure it's going to be on.
Really impressed with Mosak. He's up to 6th now. He's gained another position. Got ahead of Barry Bowes. Meanwhile, Annunziata, the gap coming down just slightly. It's 4 seconds now to Cruz in 2nd place. Merrill still 3rd. We go on board now with Connor Mosak. Mosak, one of our great success stories, of course, in the Camaro.
McKee is really driving defensive, and I think that's taken some of his concentration away of going forward and making matters worse.
Right. Sometimes you get caught up in your mirror when you really need to focus on forward, and but he wants to keep him behind him, so he's going, I got 10 minutes and I don't want to get past.
Right. Yeah, talk about a baptism of
I've
fire.
noticed him moving all the way over to the right down the front straightaway. Yeah, he's definitely driving in his mirror.
Well, Ben Mayer is trying. Now he's got a chance. Nudges the nose up the inside. Can't do it. As you say, McKee just basically defending for his life at this point, and that's allowed the rest of the field. Mosak now caught up with them. And Mosak won't wait.
Yeah, that's what happens, and it allows the guys behind you to catch back up too, and then next thing you know, you got to train.
Yeah,
and it allows the other people to close up on you real quick.
Yeah, and then it becomes like a bike race, like a peloton.
Yeah.
Well, Annunziata keeping out of it at the moment, and he and Ryan Newman could be on for victory. By my calculations, they should take this ahead of the Lally-Cruz combo. Now with Ben Mayer again. He looks to the inside. He's defended nicely by McKee. He just puts the whole car there and says, nope, you're not coming around here.
Every time he gets a run on him, it just defends.
And now
here we go.
Mosak's on the outside. He'll have
go.
the inside line at the end of Big Ben, and Mayer doesn't want it.
Here we go.
Oh, and through goes Mosak, does he? Yes.
It's
Nice.
It's a hard pass to defend once he comes up on the inside. If you can make that outside work, it'll work for you every time.
That's good stuff. Well done to Connor Mosak. He's making his way through. And Mosak could do with a bit of limelight. He hasn't had too much in the last season.
Did you say he changed tires? Is that why?
That's how they changed it. One extra tire.
Okay, one.
Yeah,
so we'll have
all.
a little bit of a fresher one where he needs it.
Right. Yeah, that might be the case. Yeah. Wow, this is really turning out to be a cracking race. Here's another look. Guys, you call it.
Well, yeah, you can make it stick on that outside there, and then if you have enough room like he did, he's like, well, I'm going to stay here and close the door for the inside move, and there, away he went.
Yeah, you can see it from above really nicely, and you're absolutely right. He got given good space from there, but and I think Ben really wasn't in much of a position to do anything else.
No.
So Ben Mayer trying desperately to make some inroads on the youngster Tristan McKee, trying his TA2 race for the first time, and that was Mosak. Nicely through. And turning out to be a fantastic race for Connor Mosak. Wow, this has got everything. So, Annunziata still with 5. He's taken it up to 5.3 seconds now. Cruz still second. Then it's Merrill. Mosak going at it. Mosak has got past Ben Mayer, and he's up to 4th position. That could change things again.
McKee went down to 11th.
Yeah.
So there was a mistake made somewhere around the lap that we
that
missed.
puts them pretty much out of the 50 grand.
Yep. He's dropping. Something happened.
Yeah, something's gone wrong with that car. That's a shame. But what great, like Scott Speed said, what great opportunity for him. What's happened here? This is Mike Skinner's car.
A little bit of damage there on the right front. Oh, full front.
Yeah, that's been ripped. Anyway, back to the action. Meanwhile, Cruz all over the back of Thomas Merrill. And these two have had plenty of battles in the TA2 season. We go on board with our 22 champion from California.
I've noticed something else that Merrill has gotten by Cruz.
Yep.
For second.
Yeah, he's on the move.
Yes,
our graphics people are exploding at the moment because the championships, the 50 grand is going from one end to the other. It's great, though.
We got a yellow.
We got a yellow. We're under caution. That could change things again. We want to finish. Yeah,
that's going to tighten everything.
Well, and I know
6 minutes left. Yeah. And, now we're 50 grand on the line, guys.
Yeah.
The graphics department better get ready.
You called it, Amy. I tell you, this is really interesting, and I know. That's what's happening. Stopped, and he's out of the car. Look.
Yes, he is.
So,
left
puncher
front
and everything.
flat.
Yep.
Left front's flat.
Well, they have to do a full course yellow there, and that is a real shame because right down the order they go. And we welcome our viewers back on MAV TV across the USA. You are looking at the strewn figure of the number 17 car that had been odds on to win the 50 grand and was looking good at the start of this race, but sadly it's all come to naught for the youngster Tristan McKee. And I've got Amy Ruman and Al Unser Jr. Let's see what you see. They're all passing him here now. Is it just a puncture or?
Yeah, at that point he looks like
Yeah.
He was already flat. He just stayed left there.
Okay.
And pulled it off, which is the right thing to do.
Yeah, smart move.
Hopefully they can get him out of the way quick and we can get back to green.
But you wouldn't have done that at his age, Al. You'd have kept going.
Well, I would have probably tried to make it to the pits, but no. I mean,
it's pointless.
You don't want to damage the car because it's got a flat tire.
There he is.
Right.
I think we're going to be seeing this youngster a lot. And like you say, good move, smart move, and you learn that bit by bit in racecraft. But given that he's so young that and hardly
today's
in the Trans Am scene,
just for fun today, and it'd be a different story if this was the TA2 points championship, and he would have limped it back to the pit lane and try to get back out there to grab some points. But today's just supposed to be for fun.
Guys, you know and I know that Tony, the organizer, wants this to end under green.
Oh, yes.
So I don't care what you say. Now, normal Trans Am, we might finish under yellow because of the timing. So we've stopped the clock.
We have stopped the clock. We've just been informed by race control.
Yes.
So that's interesting. And that basically confirms what I said, is that by stopping the clock, that gives us the minutes, and that gives us a chance for a restart, which will be hell-bent for leather.
Which I think they'll still go around under yellow right now while they're cleaning up the accident. And, and then they're going to have 3.5 to 4 minutes left to duke this thing out.
That's right.
Well, there were the points after 20 minutes, with Cruz and Lally leading by 2 over Merrill and Labonte. And then Ciata was in third, just 1 point behind, and then Bose and Biffle in fourth. Savagian, that's another good story. Edward Savagian, another former regular in Trans Am, but just doing part-time and just coming in for this weekend. But he and Casey Mears doing a really good job. Casey handed over the car in 8th, I believe. Now Savagian's taking it up to 5th. Mayer and Deegan doing a good job. Deegan handed over the car with a bit of damage, but Mayer kept it going. He's in 6th. The Hendrickson-Andretti combo, now 7th. And obviously the speed car with Tristan McKee has dropped out, and so those
that'll
are
change.
out of that'll change. But just to give you the order at the moment as it stands on track, it's the Annunziata car of car number 90 with Ryan Newman and Thomas Annunziata leading the way from Labonte and Merrill at the wheel. Cruz is in third. The Lally Cruz car currently in third. Then Schrader Mosak. Mosak's been the man on the move. And then is that combination of Deegan and Mayer in 5th. And Mr. Atwell doing a good job. John's got it up to what, 13th? It's all right.
I think he's a little higher than that.
Yeah, the way I have it now is sort of basically unofficial but official. By my calculations, Annunziata and Newman should win, with Merrill in 2nd place and Ben Cruz and Lally in 3rd. Let's head down to Ben Sissel for the latest from the pit lane.
I am Ryan Newman, currently leading this race with Thomas Annunziata. What's the crew saying? What's your strategy for a restart?
This is all on Thomas. He's done a phenomenal job taking the car from 7th where I had it to the lead and running away. So I think he's got a little left in the bag. It's just a matter of getting a good start, getting through the gearbox good, and I think he's should be able to take it home.
I love it. Well, we've got the Nitro team down here looking really good. Jimmy live on the scene. This has got to be really good for you.
Man, I am so thankful for the All-Star Speed Tour to put this on, or SpeedTour All-Star Race put this on. This is a great event. Being from Connecticut, I love to see all these race fans in this area, and I'm loving that Nitro Motorsports can pull it together and all our sponsors. And Thomas Annunziata, after everything he's gone through, he deserves this. Ryan Newman, we got to give him a shout out. He was coming on. We got blocked in qualifying. Otherwise, it would have been a little better, but it's all good. All good.
Nobody blocks Ryan Newman. But I got to talk about this. Ron Otto, longtime NASCAR crew, mechanic. You worked with everybody. And we talked about this. This is kind of like a reunion for you. These are all your old buddies.
Absolutely. It's a great event. Really enjoyed seeing everybody, and especially having our car up front right now. So pretty cool.
Nice. I love it. Well, we've got all kinds of people down here in the pits. It's kind of heating up, so I am going to now send it back up to you guys in the booth.
Thanks, Ben. Yep, we're still under caution. The McLaren leading us round. We've had Tristan McKee, who has basically stopped on track with a front left puncture, and sensibly. And we're just checking to see if we are going to get a checkered flag, and I'm looking at it. Yes! The checkered flag is out!
Checkered flag.
Even though I thought we might go green.
I thought so too.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I was hoping.
I was always hoping.
I'd like to see 2 laps.
But the good news for Annunziata is what a season he's having. Ryan Newman and Thomas Annunziata. You've heard of Ryan Newman. You may not have heard as much about Thomas Annunziata, but this is a name for the future, and he's also our first ever $50,000 winner. And therefore, well, I may not be right on that, you know. Let me have a look at this. Okay. By my calculations, actually, it's going to be 35 points to Brent Cruz and Andy Lally. Even though Annunziata crosses the line in first, they will be actually third place. So Ryan Newman and Annunziata have 32 points. Merrill has 33 points with Labonte. And Andy Lally and Brent Cruz, 35. So, the winners of 50,000 are in fact Brent Cruz, our current TA2 champion, and Andy Lally. And I have to say, when I saw the names come out, that's not a big surprise. Those are two real hot shoes.
Real good drivers in that one. But
Lally's a bit of a ringer when he's still at the height of his game, right?
This was just a heck of a race.
Wasn't it?
They're all battling for points, and so we had a hard time figuring it out.
Well, I was about to say,
so.
Excuse me for not getting it 100% right, but it's happening at 52 seconds a lap.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, it's changing with every lap. And so our graphics department doing a great job there, but there is pretty much the provisional standings. It could change, but we believe that Andy Lally and Brent Cruz are our winners by just 2 points over Bobby Labonte and Thomas Merrill. Great run by Thomas, great run by Annunziata to get him and Ryan Newman up to the top 3. And even though he crossed the line first, the points count back obviously from the first part. And Amy, would you say you do this again if you got a chance to have a full run at it?
Yeah, probably, definitely. I mean, what a weekend here at Lime Rock Park. I mean, the facility is amazing. The fans are amazing. I haven't done an autograph session like that in couple, maybe 5-10 years that many, and we did 2 of them this weekend. And the
did you
fans
bring your mom and dad this weekend?
My dad's here.
You see, that's
I gave my mom the weekend
Tell
off.
Mom if you're listening, that's what's gone wrong this weekend.
I got to say hi to my mom at home.
There you go.
Hey, everything's in one piece. We were happy with the weekend, and what an opportunity. And again, to be in this class of people is it's unbelievable.
Well, you're a great Trans Am champion. We love having you
Thank
here.
you.
Best of luck with the rest of the season.
Thank
Watkins
you.
Glen coming up very soon indeed for Amy in TA. And obviously TA2 will be part of that action. And that championship's still very much alive. Rafa Matos leading the way. We'll take a short break now they've come in. 2-part Ferme. We'll be back with wrapping it up and hearing from our winners after this. Wow. Catch your breath. Yeah, it was a little confusing, but I don't mind that.
Hey,
that's
I was
what it's all
confused.
about.
Fantastic.
What
What a great race day. And I would say this is a huge success for the All-Star race with the format that Tony Perella has put together with the All-Stars and the pros in TA.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I actually quite like the idea of the accumulated points, just because the pros can go, in their normal. They've raced each other week in, week out, so no problem. And it's their cars. They're going for the 50 grand. They're going to get the money.
Yep.
And that's, I think, an important part. There's Andy Lally with Tom Cruise, almost said, but with Brent Cruz. There you go. Yeah, let's head down to Brent. Let's head down and hear from Brent Cruz. He's with Ben Sissel.
Well, I'm here with our Grand Marshal as Jeff Bodine comes in to give the congratulations. Thomas Annunziata, a high five. Thomas Annunziata won his part of the race, but the winner of the SpeedTour All-Star Race, because it's a points race, Andy Lally and Brent Cruz. How about that, Andy? How does that feel?
Really cool. I mean, absolute honor to be here racing on track with these guys. I get a moment to share a seat with a future superstar and Brent Cruz here. And just an absolute blast. I've been bugging people that drive their TA2 cars for years because I love this series. Finally get an opportunity. We get a W out of the box. get to share it with some good people. Our sponsors, Franklin Road, and definitely want to dedicate this one to Walter Simmerdinger, my mentor. He passed last week, and it's amazing to be able to do this with him. And congrats, buddy. Awesome run. Smart drive by this kid for such a good age. And Nick, of course, from Nitro for putting together such an awesome car.
Nice. Franklin Road Apparel Company, thank you so much. Ken Twaits, Brent Cruz. This has got to feel really good. I'm here with the winner, SpeedTour All-Star with the points, Andy Lally, Brent Cruz. Welcome back. Brent Cruz, how does this feel?
Feels great. I just want to thank the good Lord above. Honored to be able to be racing with Andy. I know he said future star for me, but he's already a star. So cool racing with a star like that and seeing what he's really capable of. I mean, like first lap, just right out the box, he was great. So cool to be racing with a teammate like that. I just want to thank Franklin Road Apparel, everybody at Toyota Racing. None of this would be possible without them. Nick Tucker, Mark, everybody that puts their hands on this thing does a great job. I think that's like 7 in a row for Nitro now. So pretty damn cool. Happy to be able to share the seat with Andy, and glad we could pick up some money too.
All right. Now, we're not in the Trans Am Series right now, so look at me. Be honest. Were you running championship there, points? You knew the points battle because I saw you kind of back off and you knew I'm pretty safe. Is that what was happening?
Yeah, thankfully I got to do it last year, or 2 years ago now, with Trans Am, and was able to figure out how to win a championship, and it was that same mindset. No, we didn't need to do anything crazy and go for second or first there. All we had to do was finish third, and we got the money. So that's what we were looking at, and that's exactly what we did. We executed perfectly. Just a great day.
All right, we got to talk to these drivers about this too, because I'm going to get to the bottom of this. You know I like my awkward questions, so I'm going to ask the awkward question. Ryan Newman, you don't know this about me, but I love the awkward questions. We're not in NASCAR right now. You don't have to be media trained. How do you feel about the point system, or do you wish it was the outcome of the race?
Well, I mean, no doubt. I mean, it's awesome for Nitro and all the people that are a part of this team and organization. Thanks to Tony Perella for the opportunity for us to have this weekend in Lime Rock, and Thomas did an amazing job driving it from 7th to the lead, quick as he did. And was able to make it.
Sounds like we lost Ben in a euphoria there of celebration, poor lad. But we got the gist of it. Everybody's happy, and Brent Cruz and Andy Lally deserved winners. And then Seata wins the overall second race. What a run from 7th to first, but it wasn't enough to stop the combination, as you heard there from Brent Cruz, that he effectively just took it off a notch or two in the closing stages because he knew he had it won. And the 50 grand goes to Nitro Motorsport. And they kind of deserve it, really, given the entries they put in and the season they are having. It has been absolutely spectacular. And what a hive of great talent they are bringing through the system that Nick Tucker has set up. Interestingly enough, Nick Tucker started with these youngsters a few years ago in 2016, has nurtured them to this level, and now Brent Cruz is just paying it back in spades. And you gotta like the idea of being paired up. If I'd had a choice, I'd have paired up with Andy Lally. No problem. He is still very much at the top of his game, and he's one of those drivers where you could throw any car at him, and he is on it. So, as always, we'll stick with our traditional sponsorships, and we'll look at our cool move of the race, because obviously they are still very much a part of our Cube 3 Architecture Trans Am Championship. And we're on board with the Mosak-Schrader combination. And this is Connor Mosak putting the hurt on Ben Mayer. And he goes round the outside, but the important thing is, as Amy Ruman says, he keeps his foot in and round Big Bend. And that gives you an opportunity to have the inside line on the second part of that corner. And through goes Connor Mosak. Pretty neatly done. Ben Mayer, to be fair, gave him plenty of room. But that is why Mosak picks up that cool move of the race. Shout out to Merrill. What an aggressive run by him in the 26 HP Tuners car. And on a day where McLaren are doing pretty good themselves in Formula One, as they qualified well. But HP Tuners representing here at Lime Rock. And Keith Prochuk will be pleased with what Thomas Merrill put on as a great show. And I think Thomas Merrill is probably the happiest man in the land, given that He sat there with his teammate and was able to spend some real quality time with Bobby Labonte, and they take second place overall. And classification of the race, the Newman and Annunziata combination wins the race. Labonte, Merrill second, Lally Cruz third, but that was enough to win them the 50 grand. 2 Nitro Motorsport cars in the top 3. Mike Cope Racing in second place. And obviously Nitro in third. Schrader Mosak in fourth. Good comeback from Mosak in the team SLR M1 race cars to bring them up to fourth. Deegan and Mayer in fifth for Nitro again. Biffle and Bose in sixth for SLR. And then Edward Savagian and Casey Mears. Good job done by both of those drivers to get them into the top 10 and in 7th place. Fellows Barker in 8th. Ruman and Atwell, well, we heard from Amy Ruman, but Atwell took it home to a top 10 finish. And Hornaday and Gallaugher taking 10th. The Seds were 11th. Andretti Hendrickson in the end finished 12th. Sullivan and Ruth in 13th. Davey Hamilton and Davison in 14th. Paul Menard, problems there for the Wlostowski Menard car. They drifted down to 15th place, and same true of the puncture for Speed and McKee in 16th. Skinner and Galante just behind them. And finishing it off, Jones, Lecomte, they got in that wreck that we saw with Hailie Deegan early on. But that pretty much had everything. It was frenetic, that's for sure. And Lime Rock has seen some fair few good races, but I think that will sit there nicely. And overall, the team standings, Nitro Motorsport, look at that. 1, 2, and 3, they're Ford Mustangs. 35, 33, and 32 points. SLR, the nearest to them, Team SLR, that's Scott Lagacy's M1 race cars team with Bose and Biffle in 4th. Concierge Motorsports with Savagian and Mears. And then Nitro again, 6th and 7th with Mayer, Deegan, Hendrickson, and Andretti. And then SLR again with McKee and Speed in 8th. Fast Auto, that's Wlostowski's team. And Paul Menard take 9th. And Barker Fellows in the Concierge Motorsports taking 10th. And a little further down, Concierge and SLR X-Line race cars. That's the Atwell Ruman car finishing in 13th. And FPEC Racing, Davison and Hamilton finishing in 16th. And finally, Brabham and Sheehan. There was a problem with that car and the Mike Cope Racing car just picking up the 2 points as we look high above from the drone on the podium. Photographers getting ready and the fans coming down from the hill. I love the tradition here at Lime Rock where the fans can kind of leave the deck chair and then head down to the podium, which is a short walk down that hill just by the Big Bend. And I can see Ben is getting prepared. But I think Tony Perella now can get a full night's sleep because he probably hasn't had one in a few months. Putting on an event like this. It's one thing to have one superstar in a championship. It's another to have 19 show up, all who have an opinion and all who have a reputation to keep intact and all who've done it all before. But Tony is a wise man, and he knows what he's doing, and he's wrangled these guys nicely. And I think this is the beginning of something special. Certainly Lime Rock feel that way, and I hope it does become a regular fixture. Well done to Perella Holdings and the whole team for putting it on. Let's head down to Ben Sissel as he gets ready now to introduce our top men. They're just getting in position. Waiting for the rest of the crowd to form up. And we'll be handing out cool suit prizes as well as the 50 grand check. And that was what it was all about. And by the way, just so we make it clear, the 50 grand was for the Trans Am Pro that took it across the line first. Hence, Brent Cruz will take the money and Nitro Motorsport will take the money. But no prize for second place, no prize for third. It's all about the winner, hence why it was so aggressive at the end. Now we can head down to Ben Sissel as we head now to the podium.
Pretty trophies. And then, yeah, after they go through you can take those home or you can throw them out to the crowd, whatever you choose. The Pirelli Bears coming in second place. Unbelievable. Listen to these names that I get to say here. TA2 champion from 2022, and then NASCAR champion from the year 2000, Bobby Labonte, Thomas Merrill, ladies and gentlemen, second place. Cope Race Cars.
And I need to mention Nitro Motorsports with Thomas Annunziata, Ryan Newman. And then in first place, just kind of knowing how to work the points, doing really well, qualified second, I believe finished third in the race, is that right? But then won on the points, so let's hear it. Andy Lally, Brent Cruz. Brent Cruz, our 2022 TA2 champion. So let me go through this. Well, that can't be right. That's in the wrong order. I can't read that. Ryan Newman, Thomas Annunziata, third place out there, but you won your part of the race. And then, Ryan, I was joking. If you've been following Trans Am, that's the best starting position Annunziata's had in quite a while. He's had to start at the back of the grid sometimes. A little late to grid at Road America, just little things like that. But, so that's got to feel pretty good. Thomas, how is it?
I mean, it's bittersweet. If the race ended up being the way it normally runs, we would have won. But we finished third, which is awesome. I can't thank Trans Am for putting this on, right? I mean, I get to race with my NASCAR heroes when I was younger, so I'm thankful for that. Thankful for the Nitro Motorsports guys. They really deserve to win. Yeah, we have the pace to win all year. We just had bad luck going our way, so we'll see what we can do the rest of the year. But yeah, very thankful for them and Chip Boys, Bayshore Mortgage Funding, AI Media, Nerd Focus. And everyone that makes these cars so fast.
Nice. How about that? Annunziata. Ryan Newman's looking at the same thing I am, but these points, I think they're backwards. So I'm thinking Lally Cruz had 35 points. Yeah. He's like, it's written in stone. Look at that. Always the competitor. And then Labonte Merrill, 33. And then Annunziata, Ryan Newman, 32 points. So hard fought, but man, you did really well. You did you did your job, I guess.
Yeah, my engineering mind kicked in there for a second. I know numbers better than that, but just really proud of everybody's effort to to have a 1-3 finish with Nitro Motorsports, and Thomas did an amazing job driving to the front. I was happy to get him a decent starting spot, but wish that I could have done a better job and held up my end of the bargain and been a champion today. So thanks to Tony Perella and everybody that does this and puts this on, and all the fans for coming out. This is something that's way outside of my box, right? Like, I've never done anything like this, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, let me ask you this. You're holding this beautiful trophy. Will this go in your trophy case?
This is Thomas's. He won it. He got the fastest lap.
Oh, nice. Look at that. How about that? The Rocket Man, Ryan Newman, Thomas Annunziata. Now, speaking of heroes, Bobby Labonte, Thomas Merrill. Bobby Labonte has run some races with us, been on the podium, won some V-Rock races with us. Now back on the podium in the All-Stars. But I'm going to start with you, Thomas, because, Thomas, you know how to win championships. You know how to win races, especially here. He won in 2019 at Lime Rock Park. How does it feel to be paired with such a legend?
Man, I learned so much co-driving with this guy. It was so much fun. Not only him, but the whole All-Star cast that we brought out this weekend was just phenomenal to spend time with them, learn from them, get to know them. It was fantastic. But Bobby Labonte is a true racer, man. I after this weekend, I'm your #1 fan, buddy. This was so much fun.
Nice. How about that? And anybody you want to thank, Thomas?
Yeah, the Cope team did a great job giving us a really, really good car. We got all Cope cars on the podium today, so good day for us.
Nice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor. I get to interview Bobby Labonte. Bobby, how was it out there for you?
It was great. Obviously, Thomas and the whole Mike Cope team, brought me in. Funny story is Mike Cope drove for me like 30 years ago in short track racing, so kind of brings it back full circle. And, Thomas taught me a lot about the racetrack. Never been here before, and great driver coach, and appreciate all that from him. And it was a blast. I mean, I can't thank Tony enough to bringing us back and bringing it on, and the All-Star Series. And, it's a blast being able to race with these guys. And, when you look at the picture at the end of the day of all the drivers that ran this race, I'm just glad to be a small part of it, and can tell my friends who I raced with and who beat me and all that stuff. So, yeah, it's great. But, yeah, a lot of fun, and thanks to these guys as well. And we were come up a little bit short, probably on my end, but maybe if we get invited back, we'll do it again.
I'm pretty sure you're going to be invited back. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Now, before we go to the top step, I need Tony Perella right here. Tony Perella, how about a hand for Tony Perella? He is the man that put this together. The whole brainchild of SpeedTour a couple months ago, he and Dickie come out here. They put this thing together. He said, hey, we have some great fans. Dickie's like, let's put on a show. And they put their heads together, and this is the show they came up with. Don't you guys appreciate that? So, Tony, this has got to feel good.
It was awesome. They put on a clinic out there. They were safe.
They put on a great show, and you didn't know right to the end who was going to win it, and that's what it's about. From a 13-year-old in there to a 60-something-year-old, you didn't know they were fast. It was fun to see.
So, Dickie, you have got to be proud of your Lime Rock Park fans and the show we just put on. How about that?
You bet it. That's right, Ben. You know, sometimes I got to pinch myself. I get to stand up here and look at the best fans in racing right here in the northwest corner of Connecticut. Thank you all so much for spending your time with us at Lime Rock Park and for honoring what Tony Perella and the Speed Tour brings here to this little old park in northwest Connecticut. You bring the best show in racing, and our drivers, thank you all so much for being here and being a part of this inaugural event. I hope it's first of many to come, Tony.
Nice. How about that? You guys want to see us come back here, don't you? Bring some more huge names. Well, speaking of huge names, Andy Lally, who has raced here and actually grew up on these hills watching racing, and this has got to feel really good, Andy.
Absolutely does. This is a special moment. I've had a handful of races, wins at Lime Rock, but this is really cool to share this track with some of my heroes and guys that I look up to and respect. That, you know, the highest levels of the sport is amazing, and then to also share it with tomorrow's stars is incredible. So brainchild Tony Perella, there's so much that he put on the line for this, risked this. People gave him pushback, but he pushed through it. We got a really good show out of it. We got to race out here with with the guys that are on both ends of our podium here are guys that I've respected since I was really young, and they've accomplished so much. But then the guy that I'm standing right next to here is just obviously Thomas, and both Thomases and Brent here are just monster future stars here, and it's really cool to be up here with them.
Nice. How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Lally. And then Brent Cruz knows how to win championships. He knows how to win heat races, and I guess now he knows how to win points races. How does it feel, Brent?
Feels incredible. I just want to say thank you to all of you fans. Goodness, this is probably the biggest crowd I've seen, and I've been to a lot of racetracks. So I'm really happy to have all y'all here, and being able to race with these stars, people that I race every week, and then guys like Ryan and Bobby is just so cool. There's so many guys that I remember when I was 5 years old watching on TV, and I get to race with them. So really cool. I just want to thank everybody at Nitro Motorsports, that guy right there, Nick Tucker. Done so much for me since growing up, racing go-karts to winning championships with this thing, and being able to share the step with Andy's great. You see how much stuff he gets to win, and being able to win with him feels really great. So happy to be here. The Nitro Motorsports 70 Franklin Road Apparel car was pretty badass, and just want to say thank you to Toyota Racing, and happy to be here.
Nice. How about that? Brent Cruz, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so now we got to do the hat dance. I don't know if we covered this in driver's meeting, but if you will hold up your trophies as a team, you're going to look at Chris right there in the yellow vest. Hold them up. Come on now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. Ryan Newman, Thomas Annunziata, Bobby Labonte, Thomas Merrill, Andy Lally, Brent Cruz. I got to say, it's just a cool moment for me to just be able to say those names out loud. Now, you're welcome to throw those hats out. Who wants a hat? You got to get loud for a hat. There we go. Oh, whoa. Ryan Newman has the best arm of all of them. I like that. All right, come on, crowd. They're in their Sunoco hats. Let's get loud. Ryan Newman, Thomas Annunziata, Bobby Labonte, Thomas Merrill, Andy Lally, and Brent Cruz co-holding the trophies. I like that. And then Brent Cruz. Brent Cruz not to be outdone by Ryan. Oh, Lally. Oh, man, that was a boomerang, Lally. Bobby Labonte, everyone, the dude in the Pit Vipers says, and you know, if he's wearing Pit Vipers, he knows NASCAR. All right, come on, Lime Rock. We're getting to the end here. Ryan Newman, Thomas Annunziata, Bobby Labonte, Thomas Merrill, Brent Cruz, and Andy Lally. Uh-oh. Boo. Can anybody get past the... Oh, there we go, Lally. Oh, there you go, Lally. You made it past the fence. Come on, Newman. Let's see what you got. Look at that. All right. He said the win. Newman, where was that going? Here we go. Boo. Uh-oh, they're just, oh, man, you guys are a little premature on that. Come on now. Let's hear it. Brent Cruz doesn't get anything sparkly. Man, Ryan Newman says, I don't know how to open this. I thought you were an engineer, Ryan Newman. Man. Oh, right for the eyes. You okay, guys? He goes, I'd even peel it off. And Brent Cruz, that thing's duct taped on there.
Ouch. Is that? Oh, that is cold. He figured out how to open that bottle, I'm pretty sure. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, gosh. Oh, look at, right for the team owner. Right, oh, man. Right for the team owner. All right. Cool. All right, here we go. We got some more hats for you guys, but this time, come off the stage, throw out some hats. Hold throw out some hats. Who wants a hat from Ryan Newman? Come on now. We got Thomas Merrill. We got all kinds of good stuff. Man. Hey, let's not chill the champagne anymore. That feels a little funky. Oh, and we've got the Bears. See that? Ladies and gentlemen, do these guys know how to put on a show? Woo, Annunziata. He's got an arm on him. Oh, look at that. Bobby Labonte goes to the Bobby Labonte fan. How about that? Look at that. I love that. Oh, wait, hold on. What's that? All right, so, and wait, hey, Kim, remind me, do all of them say ever have the bell helmets or just the leaders? Just the leaders. All right, so, Annunziata, Bobby Labonte, how about that? That is a wrap on Ryan Newman, Thomas Annunziata, Bobby Labonte, and Thomas Merrill. Little showbiz term. I need Brent Cruz and Andy Lally to the top step. All right, yeah, Andy Lally, we're not done with you. That's a wrap on Ryan Newman, though. Thank you, Ryan. That feels real good. I'm going to get pulled over driving home to Nashville tonight smelling like alcohol because I'm going to send you that bill. All right, so we've got, listen, Mike McGree, OMP, Bell Helmets, to give Bell Helmets away to our winners. How about that? Signed in the driver's meeting. Put that in your trophy case. Mike, you guys have been partners of ours. You've been partners of ours for a long time. Thank you so much for doing this. How's this feel? Look at that. He's wearing your stuff already.
Exactly. No, it's great to be out here. Thanks for all the fans. Tony for putting on such a great event, and obviously Dickie as well. So proud to be here.
Nice. I love it. Thank you so much, OMP Bell Helmets. Let's get a picture, guys. Hold up those helmets. Hold up those helmets. There we go. Look at that. Nice. How about that? Andy Lally, Brent Cruz. All right, Michelle, what's next? All right, so, yeah. All right, so now you guys have put those in front of you at your feet. And how about a hand from Michelle Rigdon, who's handing out our Omo Legato watches. So each one of them wins an Omo Legato watch. Hold those up for the pictures, gentlemen. Chris, you good? All right, come on now. Get loud, crowd. This is pretty cool. We still got a few more giveaways. We've got some Cube 3s, stress cubes. Boop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the big cheese, Tony Perella, to present the $50,000 check to the SpeedTour All-Star winners, Andy Lally, Brent Cruz, and Nitro Motorsports. Check that out. How about that? $50,000. Nice job. Oh, and the Jimmy Live coming back to spray him. How about that? Nice job, guys. Congratulations. All right, cool box. Right? All right. That, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. Brent Cruz, Andy Lally. Nice job, guys. We've got one more award. Cool box, iceless cooling systems, and suits for in-cars. They're coming up here, guys. These guys race with us in the Trans Am Western Championship. And you're wearing your checkerboard socks. I love that. So our cool box, cool move of the race goes to Connor Mosak. Connor Mosak, come on up here. Connor Mosak and Kenny Schrader had to start in the back. Where'd they finish? Hey, Ashley, where'd they finish? Connor, where did you finish the race? Fourth. Connor Mosak went from back to fourth. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. So how cool is that? Now, Rivkin, cool box, a lot of our drivers use this, the iceless water cooling system. How does this feel to be at Lime Rock giving this away? And thank you so much for being a marketing partner with Trans Am.
This feels great. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Appreciate everything. The drivers have been incredible. The crowds have been absolutely incredible. I think this is the biggest crowds I've seen for one of these events, and it's been fantastic. We're happy to be here.
Nice. I love it. All right, guys, thank you so much. Connor Mosak, congratulations. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. All right, so all the drivers, come back and see Michelle. She's got the unbroken trophies. Lime Rock Park, we absolutely love you. I'm going to send some of our staff through here. You guys, let's throw these things out. Let's get these things going. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We will be back here for the Memorial Day Classic and hopefully for the SpeedTour All-Star Race next year. Thank you guys so much. But we've still got IROC. We've still got SVRA. We've still got the Nissan Sentra Cup. So stay tuned. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We love coming to Lime Rock Park.
And our thanks to Ben Sissel doing the podium ceremonies there. And as he says, more SVRA coverage from our Speed Tour to come. But that concludes our coverage of the first ever All-Star Trans Am race from Lime Rock. And as you heard, we are welcomed back next year. And after what the show was, and somewhat fitting that Andy Lally, in the home of Skip Barber, where he began his career, now wins the Bell helmet. And his teammate, Brent Cruz, our current TA2 champion, wins the 50 grand. What a great weekend to have so many great stars from the past, and as well as doffing the cap to the future. Nice balance between the two. My thanks to all involved. I'm Jonathan Green. I hope you've enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more Speed Tour coming up. How good is this? Look at this view from Wlostowski.
It brings all my fans, it brings the audience into the car with me.
Speed turn 140-mile-an-hour entry speeds.
The quickest and most efficient way for me to get information to my drivers is from using the V-Box HD2 system.
I've been waiting for. Living the moment till I die. And I'm gonna change. And I'm gonna change. I know we can do it. No matter how I try.
There's Boris said.
One of the ways you overtake here at Sebring is really good in the braking zone, like this one right here.
Both go around. There's the green.